What's up, you guys? Wyattxhim Easter egg here, everyone's favorite YouTuber who stutters and mispronounces, and today coming at you with a vinyl update on Easter. Now, mostly other YouTubers, when they put up, vinyl updates on Easter, would say something really cringy like, blasphemous offerings on the Christian day. And, me being a normal functioning human being, I'm just not gonna do that unironically. So, yeah, not doing that. But anyway, guys, one thing I wanted to tell you guys about before I start showing off some records is when I show off records, obviously I leave links provided to all the music. That way you guys can check it out in the description. But I'll also start leaving links provided to the distros carrying said music I show. That way you guys can create bad spending habits just like me. And, yeah, just have another excuse to waste some money. So start doing that now. Also, as well, what's playing in the background, we're listening to the debut full-length by Nocturnal Triumph with their album Into Light's Graven Womb. If you are a fan of atmospheric black metal, but you want just harsh riffs, this band does it every time. And I know, gonna be a little cliche here, Go to Works just put out the follow-up vinyl up, and I'm so beyond stoked to hear what that's gonna sound like on vinyl. But yeah, continuing on now to actually showing some records, so let's just get it going. First one up, this is Evil Feast with Funeral Sorcery. Sorry for the glare, but for some reason all these Evil Feast reissues are going to have spot gloss galore for some reason. But anyway, this was just recently reissued through Amor Fati, and finally is because I want literally anything and everything that this dude has done. Evil Feast is a Polish one-man, kind of like atmospheric ambient blend black metal project, and this dude does no wrong in my opinion. Everything he does is beyond perfect, and it's just, he really captures like the essence of the second wave, like, black metal era, but really kind of, infuses like modern day atmosphere and ambience to make something just truly spectacular that new and old fans of black metal I think could just eat up. We'll say this, a lot of people consider this album his kind of like magnum opus, and while I still argue that Winter Moon Enchantment will always be his best, because that's where he truly shines with ambience on that album, I can see why a lot of people think this is the fan favorite, because it's just really raw when you compare it to all of his other releases, and I think that's what tickles the fancy of Evil Feast fans. But yeah, just got reissued through Amor Fati, and they're always going to keep it in print, so I'll have a link provided to that. Anyway, artwork, backside, gatefold with just lyrics and gorgeous photography of forests and woods, because that's black metal. And yeah, on 180 gram black vinyl, which it's a little too sexy to show you on black vinyl, so I'll keep it in the sleeve. But yeah, if you want some of the best by Evil Feast, definitely check out Funeral Sorcery. Alright, now on to the second record. This is Devil Master with Satan Spits on Children of Light. So it's put out through Relapse. Not going to go too much in depth with the music because I did a review for it. But yeah, Devil Master is a kind of like mixture of black metal, punk, and death rock for good measure, all kind of like in a melting pot, and making one awesome piece of really entertaining, fast as hell black and punk that I've been spinning a lot more than I initially planned to. I'm having a blast spinning this from front to back. And the songs on here like Black Flame Candle, Devil Is Your Master, and my personal favorite song, Her Thirsty Whip. Just some phenomenal shit from start to finish. And yeah, pretty much if you like the first track, you're going to like the rest of the album, because it kind of, song structure wise, it's all the same really. It's just always being fast and diabolical and melodic sounding too. Where basically it's kind of like if Profanatica was more melodic and better. It would be Devil Master, and yeah, really surprised by how awesome this sounds. Anyway, it just comes on a gorgeous plain black vinyl, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. Double-sided poster, artwork of the demo compilation I believe they used there, and this of the band picture, which I just find so ungodly cheesy and funny, but I guess that's what gives it some of its charm. But yeah, guys, this is definitely a standout, at least for me anyway, for 2019 releases. And if you want just some really fast and entertaining black and punk, look no further than Devil Master. Now onto the third album right here. I showed off their previous album in my video entitled Melodic Death Metal Sucks and Is Weak, and as you guys know, that statement is 1000% false, and if you think that statement is true, then, well, what you may be kind of like suffering from, and a lot of doctors recently have been like diagnosing this to a lot of their patients, you suffer from this syndrome called the basic bitch syndrome, where you think Metal Blade and Nuclear Blast are like the alpha and omega of the sound of melodic death metal. So I advise you to search a little deeper and maybe you can get out of this syndrome. But yeah, one band that'll do it for you will be House of Atreus. This is their debut full length right here. And I know, alright, when we talk about House of Atreus, the first and always only comparison is Argislint. And yes, you can tell from just the opening riff of any House of Atreus song, they take a massive influence from Argislint. And basically, I'm just going to say this. If you like both House of Atreus and Argislint, you like really good melodic death metal. But if you like Argislint and you don't like House of Atreus, I think you like Argislint for other controversial reasons. But yeah, House of Atreus is basically, you know, non-controversial Argislint. And you know, I hear a lot of people say they're kind of like the knockoff bargain brand of Argislint, and I'm going to disagree. On their own, I think they're phenomenal. And yeah, like I stated previously, they borrow a lot of influence from them, but it's like, Argislint's been absent for over a decade, and if, you know, there's really no bands really carrying their sound, so I'll take a band like House of Atreus carrying the galloping, kick-ass sound of Argislint. So yeah, I'm all for House of Atreus right here, and I'm really impressed with what these guys have done so far. Anyway, still available on Dark Descent for wicked cheap, so get on it, that guys. Comes with a lyric sheet, thank you notes, and this record comes on gold wax, in a way. Actually, you know, now that I look at it, it kind of looks like, you know, baby shit now in this lighting, but yeah, it's gold. But House of Atreus, guys, phenomenal melodic death metal. If you just want crushing, thick riffs galore for the style of melodic death metal, House of Atreus is a name you should all know. So yeah, definitely check this out. Alright, now for some grindcore of the most creative way possible. This is the debut and only full length by The Contrastic, self-titled. The Contrastic is a band in their own dimension with grindcore. Now, I understand why a lot of people don't like grindcore, because it's just a melting pot of bands kind of circling around the same idea of just always being over the top, playing as just fast as possible at breakneck speeds, that just a lot of bands just kind of like all sound the same when you really start to dive into grindcore. And I understand the complaint, but The Contrastic is something that's really uncomparable to really anything else within the genre, because they are very experimental and you just don't come by things like this. And for me, arguably, this is arguably one of the greatest grindcore albums ever. Alright, and I know that's really going to be something that's a bold statement, because we all got to say either it's Napalm Death or a Carcass album or a this and that album. No. The Contrastic is probably the most uncherished gem in grindcore that I can think of. And the song on here that's going to really just set the mood to make you guys realize this isn't your typical run-of-the-mill grindcore album is the song Sex with Four Walls, the third track on here. It's going to let you guys sink into the idea that this isn't run-of-the-mill. Alright, so it's basically got like the aggression and just crushing, you know, vocals you want in grindcore, but it has the creativity that a lot of bands lack in the genre. But anyway, here's the artwork for the vinyl reissue. Really disappointed they did not use the OG artwork, which I'll show in a second, because the OG artwork is that a kind of like crayon colored in aerial picture, which I believe one of the band members' daughters colored that in, and they used that for the CD artwork. And I wish they used it for the vinyl, because that artwork is the reason why I bothered checking this out in the first place a couple of years ago. Anyway, artwork of the vinyl copy, and just stuff of the OG artwork right there. Anyway, this variant, limited to 200 copies, comes on a Barney the Dinosaur semi-translucent purple vinyl, limited to 200 copies. Only been able to find it on Discogs, so yeah, I'm not going to link that up because I know some of you guys don't care for that website. But yeah, the Contrastic, it's got like funk, grindcore, a very creative bass tone, crushing vocals, and really crusty, catchy guitar riffs. So it's basically everything you want and then some. So yeah, definitely check out the Contrastic. Alright guys, now for the second to last record right here. This is a death metal masterpiece that a lot of people aren't really cherishing. Alright, and this is some crushing shit. This is Molested with their only full length right here, Blood Dream. Molested was a Norwegian death metal band, and I believe the guitarist of Borknigar was in this before he started Borknigar. And Jesus Christ, alright, this is some crushing shit. For today's standards, this is just intense. So I can only imagine what it must have been like for listeners back in 1995 to listen to something like this, alright? This is just some really terrifying, filthy, visceral death metal the way I like it. Alright? It's very dissonant, so think of like, you know, bands like Mitochondrion, Dodecahedron, Portal, and Evangelist. Think of that. But whereas all those bands have like those experimental twist and turn moments where all these crazy transitions, Molested is really just more straightforward dissonant death metal where it just has like a ground and pound type of attitude towards it and really doesn't like fuck around with you. It just stays on top of you, just beating you down into it like a fucking grave. Like, this is just terrifying and intense from start to finish right here, and I'm happy to see that this label called The Crypts reissued this a few years ago back in 2017. And it's still available on The Crypts, and apparently The Crypts is a distro based in Massachusetts, so when I got this, I got it within like a few days, so benefit for me living into Massachusetts. But yeah, how this is still available and not sold out is mind-boggling to me, because all you guys should be on this shit like white on fucking rice. This is some really damn good shit. But yeah, just want to say a spoiler alert as well. I plan on doing a top 10 death metal albums list, and spoiler alert, this is going to be in it. It's just that good. But gatefold, all notes, lyrics, and all that good jazz. Backside, double LP, and both on the same color. I got mine on this kind of like semi-translucent red vinyl. I know it kind of looks black in this lighting, but it has two LPs. Both of them, side A and B is the full length from start to finish, and C and D is the full length from start to finish. And basically, it's two LPs, and side A and B have the kind of like 2015 remix. Like, it's just a lot clearer and easier to kind of like get into. But side C and D had the original 1995 mix, and guys, it's night and fucking day, okay? It's meant to be listened to on the original 1995 mix because it's harsher and grimmer. It's just more of everything. So if you're gonna get this, just the only side you need is side C and D. But yeah, if you want some of the most crushing, visceral death metal probably ever made, definitely check out Molested. And finally, now for the last record right here. This was a late birthday gift from the one and only wonderful and beautiful Eugenia, getting me this for my birthday, and I can't believe she did, because this is ridiculous and I wasn't expecting it. But this is the debut full-length vinyl reissue for Diverberten Kinder Avis. Yeah, just to save my breath, I'll just abbreviate it to DVKE. And DVKE was the side project of the members of Summoning. They also had a female vocalist who did other music work with it. And this is a kind of like neoclassical dark wave project that I think actually they might still be active with it. And Temple of Darkness just recently did a vinyl press of this, and hopefully to God they do vinyl presses for their other works, because this is like neoclassical dark wave in the best way possible. And maybe I'm a little biased saying that, because it's basically summoning without black metal, okay? Because we all know it's summoning. They're not really your traditional black metal band. They'll have, like, you know, the electronic neoclassical influence creep into their sound, and it kind of takes up like half of the song length, so it's really like, you know, kind of like black metal, but more orchestrated, neoclassical, blah, blah, blah. And really, if you're going to get into summoning, you're not really admiring the black metal work. You're really admiring the composition and every little detail they kind of add within their works, just compositionally wise. And this, they just really put all their creativity into that neoclassical sound, and it's just leaves me in awe. But yeah, this vinyl press right here is ridiculous. Like, Temple of Darkness pulled out no stops on this. Anyway, it comes in this kind of like jacket right here, tote bag in a way. This all slides out, so that's the sleeve for me. So first thing I'll show is the vinyl itself. Great quality stuff. Kind of has some spot gloss on the band logo. Gorgeous artwork. And track listing right here. Now the second song on here, The Serpent's Voice. That song alone, when Eugenia showed me this a handful of months ago, I immediately just fell in love with this project. So The Serpent's Voice alone will sell you on it. Other great songs on here are Beneath the Veil of the Ocean, Requiem, The Message, Futile Belief, and Reflections Beyond Boundaries. Great stuff from start to finish, but those are the standout tracks for me. And been spinning this ever since I got it yesterday and loving every second of it. Double LP all on plain black vinyl, so I'm not going to show you that. It has a gatefold. Again, the packaging for this is just, it's ridiculous how they did everything. So band picture with spot gloss. Booklet stapled inside with artwork that goes along with each track, along with lyrics and whatnot, so I'm not going to bother showing you all that. But as well, because, you know, that wasn't enough, it also comes with this envelope, and inside the envelope that I carefully opened, comes with even more goodies. So it comes with incense candles. Didn't want to open it because they're very small and fragile, so I didn't want to break that. A live CD, a live DVD of their performance back in 1996. 32 minutes of wonderful neoclassical dark wave being performed. A certificate, got number 259 out of 500, still available on Temple of Darkness. A flyer, another booklet, same exact thing as the booklet that's stapled inside the record, only they're just with color and smaller. And the last thing it comes with is kind of like some pictures as well. Every copy has four different pictures of the band right there. Photographs, I should say. Vocalist and the mastermind right there. But yeah, DVKE, guys, if you want, again, like I just stated, you know, neoclassical dark wave in the highest degree, this is a project that is a mandatory must listen. But again, thank you so much, Eugenia, for this. But yeah, guys, that's it for this final update. Like always, links provided to everything I've shown off will be in the description below. And like always, guys, thanks for watching, liking, supporting, and subscribing. You guys are the best, and good listens.